Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is the big one. It is my best of beauty from 2018. I typically divide these videos up into two videos. However, I decided to do just one video. I tested a lot of products this year, but my favorites were a little bit smaller than years prior. Actually, I'm not testing as many products as I used to, simply because I like to stick with products that I like. I don't like to overload myself with testing too many different things. So as a result, my best of is a little bit smaller, and some of these products are from years prior. I am someone that when I find something I love, I stick with it. And I'll find new things that I enjoy and love, but these products are truly my best of because I keep using them from year to year. So let's get started. It's a little mix of everything: skincare, makeup, hair, and I don't think any fragrance. No fragrance made it this year. What am I going to start with first? Well, let's start with some makeup products. This should be no surprise. The Charlotte Tilbury Glowing Skin Palette. It's what I have on my cheeks today. I bought this during the Nordstrom anniversary sale. It's just fantastic. Very rarely do I find a palette where every single color is a win. Normally there's always like one color that's off or something, but I love every single shade in this palette. I wear the contour all the time, the airbrush setting powder, the blushes I mix together, the highlighters I mix together. The blushes especially are some of my favorite to wear because they give just a gorgeous pop of color to the cheeks. And they look good in the summer, look good in the winter. The formula is fantastic. Sorry, almost like moving all around. He almost like unplugged my ring light here. The contour is perfect. It's just, there's no doubt about it that it was going to be my best of beauty. Another product that should not be a surprise is the Tasha De Nonna Gold Palette. Now, while I don't necessarily use every single color in the palette all the time, I have just been so blown away by this palette, by the texture of the shadows, by the payoff, the blending. Everything about this palette has really impressed me. And I've done some tutorials with this. I've worn this in a bunch of videos. The shimmery colors especially have really impressed me because there's not a lot of fallout. They look very glittery, but when they're on, they are not like a disco ball. They're definitely bold, but not too over the top. The matte shades in here are some of the perfect crease colors, liner colors. A few of you picked this palette up as well and said wonderful things about it. Oh, and make sure you leave me your favorite beauty products down in the comments below, because I also took a poll on my Instagram, and I'm going to do a blog post. I did one last year, and it was one of my most popular blog posts I did, where I rounded up all of the best beauty products that you guys loved. So I know many of you love to read what other people enjoy and suggest, and there were a lot of same products that came up over and over again. Surprisingly, Sunday Riley Good Jeans is always a top product listed in your best of beauty, like products that you've loved. Last year it was, this year a lot of you sent to me that you loved it. So make sure you leave me your favorite beauty products from the year down below, and I'm going to compile it all in a blog post, and be sure to check that out. That'll probably go up in the next 2 weeks or so. Moving on, the Tatcha Pearl Eye Treatment. This blew me away from the first time I tried it. I wear the shade Moonlight. It is a concealer slash skincare product. So it has skincare benefits like an eye cream, but it has more pigmentation and more coverage than typical eye cream with a slight tint. I have some eye creams that have a slight tint to them. This is closer to a concealer. However, I wear this more as a skincare product. So because it has such great skincare benefits, I don't like to put it on top of my makeup. I want the product to get directly onto my skin. So I will wear this with my skincare, and then I'll put my foundation, and if I do, a concealer on top of it, on top of this. And this really helps to brighten. However, the trick to using this is using the smallest amount. I'm talking, if you think you're using a small amount, use less, because it can get it'll be too heavy and it will streak or it will kind of clump. But if you use a small amount, it blends beautifully, and it really does help to brighten the under eye area, especially if you don't like to wear makeup. If you're someone that's just like, I don't like to wear a lot of makeup or any at all, but I want something especially to help around the under eye area, this is a great product because it's more of a skincare product, but you're going to get a little bit of, you know, hiding of the darkness, bit of concealing, and a little bit of brightening. Two skincare products that I fell in love with, the Drunk Elephant Hydrogel. Love this. Great hydrating gel. It's a little bit thicker than a serum, and it does a wonderful job at hydrating the skin. I love it in the summer as just a lightweight gel, you know, as a moisturizer. I love it in the winter, layered under other serums and moisturizers. Then, of course, the Drunk Elephant Baby Facial. This, of course, had to make my Best of Beauty. I really was impressed by it. It is strong. I say all the time, it like power washes the skin. That's my joke. It's like so strong. If you have very sensitive skin, woo, you need to patch test with that. But I found it just did amazing things with texture. It was just one of the strongest peeling products I've ever tried. The Fresh Rose Deep Hydration Facial Toner. I fell in love with this stuff. It is a toner, but it's incredibly hydrating and soothing and calming to the skin. I like a lot of chemical toners, like chemical exfoliating toners, like Pixie Glow. But this I really liked just to add an additional step of moisture into the skin, especially after I cleanse. I like to put some moisture immediately back into the skin. This was such a win for me. In addition to that is the Dr. Andrew Weil for Origins Mega Mushroom Relief and Resilience Soothing Treatment Lotion. I may have gone with a shorter name, but I wasn't naming the products. However, this definitely made it in. I was really impressed by this line in general because it does wonders for sensitive skin, irritated skin, dry skin. If your skin is just kind of freaking out and you need it to calm down, to chill out, this Mega Mushroom line is wonderful at that. I love this soothing treatment lotion. I like to pour it into my hands and press it into my skin as an essence. So after I cleanse, tone, I will use this. Like I said, it does wonders when my skin is very irritated, very dry, very uncomfortable. And I've loved other products from the line, but this stood out to me as a product that I kept going back to over and over again all year. This was in my Best of Beauty last year. It's going to be my Best of Beauty again this year. I do love the Elemis Pro Collagen Cleansing Balm. I try a lot of different cleansing balms. However, I enjoy a lot of different ones, but I just go through these over and over again. I constantly go back to it. I love the way it removes makeup. I love how easily it rinses away. It emulsifies to a milk very easily. I don't need a muslin cloth. I can use one, but I don't need one. And my skin feels fantastic afterwards. So hence it's going to be in my Best of Beauty again. Another cleanser that made the list was the Kate Somerville Cold Cream Moisturizing Cleanser. I say this is like a fluffy cloud. It's like a cold cream. So it does wonders for removing makeup. It's very cooling and soothing, and it feels cloud-like on the skin. I like it to remove makeup. I like it as a second cleanse. I just like it as a cleanse, period. What else do we have here? Hair product that I love was the Orbe Signature Moisture Mask. This, a lot of masks, I have very oily scalp and very dry ends. I heat style a lot my hair because I curl it, and I probably wash my hair maybe twice a week. That's pretty much what I found works for me. But a lot of masks are too heavy for my ends. Not for my ends, but for my whole hair. Even if I put them on my ends, as I'm rinsing that out, sometimes it will get to my scalp, and my scalp is flat. It'll look greasy. So it's very rare that I find good hydrating masks that work for my type of hair. And this Orbe one is really fantastic. It's not the most hydrating moisturizing mask, which I think is why it works for me. It does a good job of kind of helping condition my ends, but it's not overly it's not overly heavy. So I think if you have exceptionally dry hair, this may not be the best for you, but if you have hair like mine where it's not really dry, you struggle with an oily scalp, this could be a really good option. Another hair product that I love, oh my gosh, I'm really down to the last third of it. The Kerastase pre-shampoo, rinse out pre-shampoo. So it's a scalp scrub. I still love my Christophe Robin, but I tried this year and I fell in love with this one. It's not as chunky as the Christophe Robin, so I find it's a little bit easier to use. And it's just a great scalp scrub. It helps to remove a lot of buildup. It helps condition my scalp. It helps with dandruff and flakiness that I get. And it helps give me a little bit of volume as well. And I use this first. I use it once a week. And then I do my shampoo and conditioner as I would normally. And it's absolutely fantastic. I plan to repurchase it, and that will be a staple for me. You may even see it in the Best of Beauty for next year. This was last year, and I still really love it. My Saint Tropez bronzing mousse. I get spray tans, but especially in the winter, I like to touch up here and there. And this is the one I found that it really works for me. It's not very streaky. I like to mix it with a moisturizer even to get an even less intense self-tan. So I'm really guaranteed no streaks. Sometimes when I use it alone, I rarely get streaks, but it depends on how quick I'm applying it. I could get streaks, but when I mix it into a moisturizer, I'm guaranteed that it goes on so smooth and it gives just a tint of color. A few more hydrating products that I absolutely love. I think I had a lot of skincare favorites for this year. I'm like, I didn't have too many makeup favorites, mainly because I just stuck with what I loved and just went back to over and over again. The Jane Scribner Smoothing Hyaluronic Hydrator. Oh, I raved about this product. It's wonderful. It's a great boost of moisture for the skin. It really helps to keep my skin hydrated all day long. And it's quite intense. Like I love a lot of hydrating serums and different products. Compared to the hydrogel I feel like is a medium hydrator. This is very intense. This really helps to plump my skin, make it feel really bouncy, buoyant. And it just really does fantastic things when my skin is exceptionally dehydrated. Another product that falls into the same category of really intense hydration and really helping to plump up the skin, the Hydra Global Serum Anti-Aging Hydration Booster from Sicily. I was floored. This is a liquid. It's like a thick liquid. This is a little bit closer to the hydrogel in the way that it's a little bit thicker. So you can use it as a serum or you can use it as a lightweight moisturizer. And this did wonders for helping my skin when it was very dehydrated and putting a lot of moisture back into it, allowing my skin to hold on to that moisture all day long. So by the end of the day, my skin was still very hydrated. I wasn't getting sometimes when my skin is very dehydrated, I'll start to see lines on my forehead. My foundation will begin to crack in certain areas where I have natural wrinkles, or let's say like around my forehead or in my laugh lines here. And I find when I'm using products to really help with hydration that are really intense, my skin looks still those lines don't come out by the end of the day. So that's how I can always tell if something's really working or it's just slightly moisturizing, but it's not really going as deeply and really hydrating my skin as some of these are. Where am I going next? Oh, I had to obviously Beauty Blender. I can't live without a Beauty Blender. It's going to be probably my Best of Beauty forever. I tried some other makeup sponge the other day. I don't even remember what it was called. All I know is I was like, well, nope, that was not. I go right back to the Beauty Blender. It works well and it applies makeup flawlessly. I still love it. 2 serums that I fell in love with this year, or that made my Best of Beauty. I didn't fall in love with them this year. I've tried them before. But the CEO Sunday Riley Vitamin C Serum, I really love it. My skin looks very bright when using it. It's not too tacky, not too sticky. It wears beautifully under makeup. But more than that, like I said, I really saw my skin look very even toned and bright when using it. Versus some other vitamin C serums I like, but I didn't see the brightness that I do with that. Is Clinical Active Serum. This was just It's fantastic. It's very tingling when you first put it on, but it really, this more than any other product I saw amazing results with. It tackles almost everything. So it's an anti-aging serum, but it also helps with redness, which you wouldn't think, because as you're putting it on, it's very like, has like this cooling feeling and it tingles, but redness began to go away, because my skin can get very red at different times. My redness began to go away. It helps with acne, it helps with breakouts, it helps with fine lines, dark spots, hyperpigmentation. It tackles everything. And I love it. I mean, it's a hugely popular product from them, from the line. So it doesn't surprise me that it works so well for me because it's one of their most popular products. But I'll never be without it. And highly recommend, especially if you have sensitive skin and a lot of products, you really want to target maybe breakouts or hyperpigmentation or anti-aging concerns, but a lot of things irritate your skin. I would test this out. See if you can get a sample, patch test it, because while it does tingle and kind of this cooling, tingling sensation at first, it really did wonders to help with my redness and when my skin was very sensitive. I don't know, but I don't know what magic is in there, but it works. Some makeup products that wowed me this year, Armani Power Fabric. It's the foundation that I'm wearing. It's a foundation that I reach for almost every single day. It just really works well with my skin right now. My skin isn't exceptionally dry, but it's not as oily as it used to be. And I love the velvety finish. It looks slightly, kind of like a natural velvety finish, not too matte, not too shiny. The coverage is perfection. I love it. Now, that's not to say next year I'm going to still love it, because some of the foundations that were my best of beauty last year, I was like, oh, those don't really work too well on my skin anymore. So it's crazy how all of a sudden something will just stop working. But for now, that definitely was a hit this year. The Dior Backstage foundation was also a huge hit with me. I love the finish. Quite a good bit of coverage, a little bit more matte. And the color, I mixed 0N and 1N, but I love the finish and it's very long wearing on me. The Armani is a little bit more velvety, looks very smooth and kind of airbrushed. The Dior is a little more matte, and yeah, it's a little more matte, not as velvety and kind of airbrush looking, but still fantastic. Too Faced Multi-Use Sculpting Concealer. It's magic. Such full coverage, and I don't understand how it's so heavy, such full coverage, and looks weightless and like nothing under the eyes, but intense coverage. Like, doesn't get crepey, doesn't emphasize any dryness. It's truly an amazing, amazing formula. Which is funny because I used to always think years ago, I never was a Too Faced fan. I thought they were kind of like a young teenager brand. And then when I began trying products, when I first started blogging, I was like, whoa, the quality of the products was so impressive to me. And I was really like, well, that was silly, because I really thought they were like a young teenager, teeny boppy brand. But joke's on me, because the products are absolutely fantastic. I had to include these because this was from last year, the Superhero It Cosmetics Mascara. I still really love it. I use it every single day. I haven't really fallen in love with another mascara as much as that this year. My Hourglass Brow Tool. I mean, I call these my non-sexy products because you just need it, but I can't do a face without it. I've tried other brow products. No, I always go back to this. I don't even, sometimes if brow products are sent to me or a PR person reaches out, like, do you want to try our brow products? A lot of times I'm like, no, I am happy with my Hourglass and I'm just going to stick with it. The color works perfectly. I wear either ash or soft brunette. Both work really well for me. A brush that was a win for me this year is the Zoeva Luxe Highlight Brush. I like this less for a highlight. Sometimes I'll use it for a highlight, but more for a contour. It fits perfectly in the hollows of my cheeks. It's just the best shape. I do, like I said, use it sometimes as a highlight brush or as an eyeshadow brush. I use it however I need to use it, but specifically I love it for contouring, and I find it's just fluffy enough and gorgeous enough, and the hairs are really soft and it blends beautifully. Of course, the Becca Bali Sands. sorry. A lot of you guys are like, oh yeah, you didn't find another bronzer this year. No, it's still my favorite bronzer. The color's perfect. The formula is perfect. Oh, this is new. Marc Jacobs Primo eyeshadow. Should not be a surprise. It's a perfect champagne shimmery shade. It looks gorgeous as a highlight, gorgeous on the lids. It's just gorgeous. 2 sunscreens that made my list. The Supergoop Unseen Sunscreen, SPF 40. I love this because it's clear and it's a matte finish. So it helps to mattify the skin, almost act as a makeup primer, but it's clear. So it doesn't leave any whitish cast on the skin. And it has a slight feeling of that silicone slip, but not as much as other priming sunscreens that I've tried. They really feel almost they'll pill up or ball up if you rub at them too much. This does not. It really is an amazing formula. Of course, the Sicily tinted sunscreen. I mean, I wear this all summer long. It'll probably be my best of beauty for however long. It's just, I wear the shade 1 Natural. It's a little too dark just regularly, but when I have a spray tan, it's absolutely perfect. It's just gorgeous. It looks flawless on the skin. Oh, look, before I get to that one, one mask that really impressed me, the Kate Somerville Wrinkle Warrior. This is, I've loved a lot of hydrating products this year that really plump the skin. This mask does wonders for helping to plump the skin. And I just keep using it. And every time I use it, I'm like, oh, it just really impressed me. And I've tried a lot of different masks this year, but this really left me with like a wow from the first time I tried it. And every time I tried after that, I'm still left like, this is really amazing. Okay. I'm surprised. I'm not surprised that this made it into my Best of Beauty, but it's funny because halfway through the year, I was like, no, this is not working. It's awful. No. The La Vanilla Healthy Deodorant. I had wanted to switch to natural deodorants, but I was kind of doing them on some days and then my regular Donna Karan antiperspirant on others. And many of you were like, okay, you got to pick a side because going back and forth is not going to allow your body to fully transition to using the natural deodorant and, get used to it. So I took your advice and I fully went only with natural deodorant. And I tested out a few different formulas. I'll link that blog post below. There's a lot of blog posts that I did on some of these products, and I will link all of those below. Swatches, all that sort of thing. If I can find any relevant videos, I will link those below as well. But once I finally made the switch over, I really noticed a difference. That being said, I should preface all this with saying, is it as good as my old Donna Karan antiperspirant? No. And I have come to accept that. It is enough. I am happy enough and it works enough. I don't smell. I do find that I sweat less, which is surprising because I am very much a sweater. But I do sweat less. However, that antiperspirant kept me dry, very dry. And on exceptionally hot days in the summer, I would bring this with me and kind of touch up, which I know can kind of be a pain. But I am happy and I am sticking with the natural deodorant route for now. I don't foresee myself changing back, but maybe I will someday. But if you really want to know, like, is it better? In my mind, it isn't, but I like it enough to stick with it. So that tells you, like, obviously I'm not going to, stick with it if it's like some days I smell and I'm just like pouring sweat. No, I definitely don't smell anymore, which I noticed was strange. As I was using it, like 2 weeks in, I was like, after a class, I was like, I don't smell. And normally, sometimes after certain workout classes or whatever, if my antiperspirant had worn off, I would kind of be like, well, I'm a little stinky, but I just didn't smell anymore. And out of all the natural deodorants I tried, this was the best for me. I found it kept me the driest. I liked the formula, and it just worked the best for me, scent-wise, texture-wise. Does it get on my clothes? Yes, it does have a little bit of white residue on my clothes, which is kind of a pain, but yeah. And that is my Best of Beauty. Those are all my favorite products from the past year. Like I said, I would love to know the products that you love from this past year. I'm going to compile all of the answers, or a majority of the answers, into a blog post so that you guys can see what other people have loved. And I will link everything that I talked about down below. And thanks for watching me this year. Again, I don't know how many years I've been on YouTube, a couple of years. And thanks for all your support and for watching my videos and reading my blog and watching my Insta stories. And this year has definitely been a year of transition. Obviously, Miles just turned 1, and last year I was pregnant, and that was a whole, thing. And then this year with him growing, and now he just turned 1. It's been a year of transition, but thank you for all your support, and I will talk to you guys soon. Take care. Bye-bye.